notify all of you that today all the PROs of Uganda Police Force within the vast regions of the country are here. We are supposed to meet and have an interaction as the force press unit. So considering that coincidence, we made sure that they attend this maiden Monday presser or press briefing. Our PROs, you can just wave, those you see there. I think in the interest of time, I may not introduce you so that we run through. But all the PROs, we have 29 regions in Uganda Police Force. We also have PROs of certain directorates like traffic. They are all here. So PROs, you are welcome. Now let me proceed with our briefing. This Monday briefing usually gives the state of security and operational incidents in the country. I would like to begin with what featured in the Daily Monitor. Daily Monitor is one of our media partners, but there is a story you ran that we felt we were not very comfortable with. We felt it amounted to a distortion, and a distortion on things we came out publicly and gave out to the public. Then we reserved a day when the directors went and again elaborated on the same. That is the annual crime report. So they made an allegation that the statistics in the police annual crime report 2024 showed violent crimes such as homicides and rape reducing. So they insinuated that we gave a false narrative, whereas not, that they were reducing, whereas it is not true. They made a number of allegations. So we said, no, let me put the record straight. We even imagined, did the writer read this report or he had a premeditated position? Because the police annual crime report indicates very clearly that a total of 4,329 cases of homicide were reported for the end of the year 2024, compared to 4,248 in 2023. And the report is very clear that there was a rise by 1.9% in homicides. Now the reporter now does the reverse. Intentions unknown. He goes to robberies. He again somersaults the record. And he gives an insinuation of a record standing on its head. Again, we were on the record that a total of 8,163 cases of robberies were reported in 2024, compared to 7,772 in 2023. And we clearly indicated that there was an increase by 5%. He does the same also with rape. So we felt really sometimes we really need to come out a bit responsibly while reporting. I can still give you, the record is very clear. The statistics of rape in our crime report which we put even on the websites. It is clearly out in the public domain, reflects what we said. We said it increased by 5.7%. The reporter did not end there. Then he said that we did not. Actually, let me say this. In his presentation, he gave an impression that we were asserting that no suicide cases took place in 2024. When you read the text, he tries to bring out a picture that we are saying no suicide occurred in 2024. Our policy prohibits including incidents not legally classified as crimes in official crime reports. To report suicides in a crime report would be a contradiction in terms, given that Ugandan law does not recognize suicide as an offense. We cannot wake up and include things which clearly in the law are not offenses, and we classify them as offenses. Suicide, I make it and repeat it here, suicide is not an offense. Suicide is an occurrence. What is an offense can be attempted suicide. Whom do you prosecute in suicide? So sometimes, let's consult. If you want us to include them as occurrences, then say it, other than insinuating that we deliberately avoided. Because when you read the entire text, the writer tries to create an impression that we are trying to give a rosy picture. Why? Why would we do that? Why would we do that? And then contradict ourselves by putting the records as annexures at the back of the report, reflecting districts, reflecting jurisdictional areas where these statistics emanate from. Then, of course, to substantiate the story, starts quoting anonymous sources of some commanders who don't want to be mentioned, some this, some that. Crime statistics are not estimates, they are not corridor talk. They reflect actual incidents officially recorded by the police. The Uganda Police Force utilizes comprehensive crime records management system extending from local police posts to CID headquarters. There is a well-defined and traceable manner in which our record moves from the lowest administrative unit of police to CID headquarters before we make the final compilation of this information. This ensures that all crime records from the lowest levels are captured through the entire data capture process, enabling accurate generation of police reports. So, what we want to say is that such reports are usually very discomforting because they are baseless, exaggerated, and at the end of the day, they discredit, unfairly discredit the image of institutions. So we still call upon reporters to be responsible. You do not exaggerate things just for the sake and for personal gain. So this is the message I wanted to put forward today, so that we put the record straight, that whoever is interested in what exactly transpired in our crime report, go to our website, you will find it there, read it, analyze it well, rather than making wild speculations. You see, by this, it shows that this district never reported any case. No, please, we cannot use those type of estimations. We go by the record that was given, that the entries that were made at police stations. We are not going to get village quarrels and we turn them into crimes. There are so many things which at times come to police but end up not entering into the police record. Why? Because when analyzed, they end up depicting no offense. So we wanted to put this record clear. Thank you very much on that one. The other issue, like I earlier said, that we give you a state of operational incidents, but we also share pieces of advice in lieu of certain observations we make which affect the security and safety of the wananchi. You recall that on 5th March, we registered a very terrible fire at Sunrise Hotel, just in Kampala CBD, downtown. Our officers from Kampala Metropolitan meticulously gave you an update on the details and how the rescue exercise went on. But there are certain critical issues as Uganda Police Force we wish to re-echo and reiterate. These are not new issues. A couple of weeks ago, I mentioned them in a press briefing. I will not tire re-echoing the same, and based on the experience we went through at that incident. Earlier, I talked about the availability of emergency fire equipment. Now, that hotel had a non-functional hydrant. Let me be clear and on the record. Because I talked to our firefighters, I asked them, what is your assessment of that hotel's capability to fight fire? Did it have that capability? No, it did not. I don't know, at a given time we are going to retrieve the clips when I've been making these communications. I mentioned it, I think I mentioned it at that time when students were resuming school this term. I said, we shall be here and we shall still find people reneging on the same advice we gave them. They were operating a business below the hotel because the hotel was in the upper floors. Now the business was dealing in chemicals which are highly or potentially flammable, highly flammable. And now our team is assessing the fire fighting capability of the structure. The water hydrant cannot even water plants. Because what we are saying is that if you have this equipment with you, by the time police comes, because police does not park near your structure, police does not keep its firefighting equipment in your backyard. At times, you may even have a fire when the same machines are somewhere combating another. There is traffic jam. So you must account for a time lag. So this is what happened. The people became helpless and started climbing to the topmost floors. When our team came, Now another problem emerged: access. There is a certain walkway our teams were sharing with me, where the vehicle should have passed so that they have a very good proximity to the building, so as to have their ladders clipped on the building to rescue the people who are in the upper floors. Now that one also became a problem. And that one now comes to the manner in which we construct some of these structures. Now these issues, we shall share them relentlessly. For those who have ears, let them hear. Billions are being lost, lives are being lost. 2 lives were lost in that fire. And the proprietor, I guess, is also registering losses. A fire cannot visit you and you remain the same as a proprietor. And now this business, which was dealing in highly flammable material, when you know that you are running a business of that kind, it becomes even more important than that you devise highly improved firefighting or safety equipment. So that is one of the pieces of advice. Now, I want to share equally on the same, on the fire. Whereas we thank the Wananchi who helped in the rescue process, there are those ones who made it a business to steal and to lift property, taking advantage of the tumultuous situation. Now, we warn you, of course, we condemn that act. And if we get you with that stolen property, don't ask questions. So there are those who turned it into a trade or an opportunity to steal. So that one is a warning. As police, we are going to do more engagements with persons who own businesses of this kind. The Director, Fire and Rescue Services, as well as the Commander KMP, intend to do some engagements, especially in the CBD here, to see how we can, in future, mitigate these kind of incidents. Thank you in respect to that. The other issue I wish to share with you is the Kae North by-election. On 13th March, this week, the people or the voters in Kae North constituency will go to the ballot to choose their member of parliament following the demise of Honorable Segirinya Mohammed. To ensure a smooth and fair process, all parties, and we re-echo this, are asked to follow the Electoral Commission's guidelines. We also encourage candidates to work closely with the Uganda Police Force. We have designated police officers at the rank of Superintendent of Police at all the 9 parishes in Kae North to coordinate security. So we shall be linking